I was still standing when he slid the folder across the polished table. Applause hadn't even finished dying. His name still echoed in the room. CEO! My husband didn't look at me when he said it. It's done, his mother laughed, sharp and pleased, like the verdict had already been read. I signed calmly. That's what unsettled them most. The pen didn't shake. My hand didn't hesitate. I smiled, like a woman who had already left the room. Then my phone vibrated. One line, no punctuation. Do not leave. Dad is coming. The doors burst open before I could reply. We met when he was nothing but hunger wrapped in ambition. I believed in him before the world learned his name. I read contracts at midnight, corrected his numbers, steadied his temper. I paid for his first suit. I taught him how to speak when power was watching. He used to hold my face and say, "I don't exist without you." I let myself believe that love could be collateral. Success changed his voice. Not overnight, slowly, carefully. He stopped asking, then stopped listening. He began calling my intuition emotional. His mother started visiting more, whispering less. I noticed the patterns before the proof. Late meetings that ran too smooth, phones angled away, a new assistant with my hair color and none of my history. The proof came quietly, a forwarded email. My name missing from a document I had drafted, my equity reassigned, a signature forged close enough to pass. I didn't cry, I archived. That night I stopped being his wife and became his witness. Planning is easier when you're underestimated. They thought my silence was grief. It was accounting. I found the clause he forgot, the one I insisted on years ago, buried under ceremonial language, a contingency tied to ethics, triggered by falsified records, activated by a third party. I didn't confront him. I let him build the stage. I called my father. I sent one message to a regulator I'd met once and never forgotten. I scheduled nothing. I waited. Back in the boardroom, the doors slammed the air out of the room. My father walked in like consequence. Not loud, certain. Behind him came the audit team, then the regulator, then the silence that only men with titles fear. My husband stood. His mother didn't laugh this time. The chairman asked for an explanation. I didn't speak. I didn't have to. My father placed a folder on the table, thicker than the one I'd signed. The audit findings slid out like a confession. Misallocated funds, breach of fiduciary duty, forgery. My husband finally looked at me. For the first time that night, he saw who I was. "Did you know," the regulator asked him, "that your wife is the primary beneficiary of the original trust?" He didn't answer. He couldn't. The clause triggered itself like a loaded spring. Shares froze, authority suspended. His board shifted away from him, chairs scraping like retreat. His mother reached for his arm. I watched her hand stop midair. I stood then, not dramatic, precise. "I signed," I said, "because I don't argue with men who think they've won." I slid my phone across the table. The email timestamp glowed. The forged signature, his silence in reply. The chairman cleared his throat. Security stepped closer. They escorted him out without touching me. That mattered. In the hallway, he tried to speak. I didn't slow down. "You taught me everything," he said, desperate now. I turned once. "No," I said. "I documented everything." The building felt lighter when I left, like a lung clearing. By morning, the headlines had corrected themselves. Interim CEO appointed, investigation ongoing, divorce nullified pending review. I didn't celebrate, I slept. When I woke, I felt something unfamiliar, relief. Not triumph, not rage, release. I didn't destroy him. I removed him from the story he stole from me. Justice isn't loud. It doesn't laugh. It waits. And when it arrives, it doesn't ask permission. I walked away with my name intact, with my future solvent, with my silence finally speaking for me. He thought the night made him powerful. He forgot who taught him how power works. And that was his last mistake.